me ask you something slightly uncomfortable. If your earnings grew overnight or your salary even doubled tomorrow, would you feel like you finally arrived? Or would there be some subtle signs that, I'm actually at ease? You know how in Uganda we say, there will be signs. So sit with that question. But in the meantime, welcome to the How Much Pod, where your money meets purpose, or dare I say, personality, but of course without the awkward shame around it. No awkward drama or heartbreak, just us doing better with money because we have learned better. And I am your host, Mugabi Patsy, the money girl, money EQ girl, shorty for money moves. And today I want to ask you that dangerous question, slightly dangerous. How much is enough? And I find oftentimes as women, especially, we shy away from this question because we don't want to have that difficult conversation of the figure. But before the figure, there's a decision that we need to get to. And oftentimes we find that even as we find it hard to address that question, the world has no problem whatsoever telling us how much is enough. And if you dare say the figure, someone may even, make you feel like, she's expensive, or she's materialistic, or she's a gold digger. So here's the actual problem. Most of the times, none of us is actually pausing to define what this more looks like because we've never really understood even what enough looks like. So that's why we take time either earning more, spending more, stressing more, and sadly, saving less. Let me paint this picture for you. Oftentimes, we have three figures that we should be thinking through at the back of our mind. Number one is the survival figure. This is your basic needs when it comes to your rent, your mortgage, your food, basically everything that you need for survival. Put it down. Then we have the security number, which is more inclined to, not your rainy day per se, but your emergency fund or your car insurance or your health insurance, to mention but a few. Basically, your nervous system is regulated and it's at rest. Your passive income streams also fall here. Then now, there's significance money, where most of us are heavily invested in looking good, feeling good. We're traveling the world, the aesthetics, the money, the options, the social life. This is all under significance money. Now, the tricky part is oftentimes we heavily invest in significance money and we under invest in the security and the stability money. And that's when the anxiety enters the group chat because now we have all these looming decisions trying to figure out how much enough is enough, but there's also this unbearing decision or like a looming big bad wolf over our heads trying to figure out how do I get out of this conundrum. So lifestyle without structure is indeed stress in good lighting, like how I am appearing before all of us. So we don't have a money problem per se, but we have an undefined clarity in terms of how much is really enough. And a good example is lifestyle creep. Suddenly, we get more money, and then we find that from the Uber, for example, and Uber Normal, now we're in Uber X or Uber XL or Uber Comfort. Your grocery budget is going to triple. The travel options are going to explode. I'm no longer an economy person. I only travel business and upwards. And our savings are just on similar vibes. And listen, this is a judgment free space. We know better because we're doing better. But the truth is, our money is not just numbers, it's not just adding and subtracting, it's also our identity. Because oftentimes when our income grows, so does our ego. So we find ourselves often in opportunities where we have to show physically that we have also grown. But here's the actual truth: enough is more than just a number, it's a decision. So I want to share with us three tactical tidbits as we think about how much is enough. Number one, it's the security number, as we're talking about. So we already have the stability of knowing what our survival number is, because that's almost on a given. You can break it down from a monthly basis or a weekly basis. But now when it comes to that security number, I would like to challenge us to first and foremost think about what is that number that has has an avenue for me to know that if anything goes wrong tomorrow, I have only this amount of days before I can start feeling anxious again, or a week or a month, right? So, for example, how much is going in every amount that comes in? Are you saving at least 20%? So, for me, who believes more on the Christian side of life, I'll tithe 10% and then I'll know 20% is for my savings or my emergency fund. So that's your survival number. The other number that we need to think about is the comfort number, because you're making this money to spend it strategically. It should be able to give you some joy, and it should also be in service of you enjoying the money that you're making, but of course within the constraints of your budget. Are we chasing money, or are we chasing the money that comes also with some peace of mind? So oftentimes when we are thinking about how much is enough, we also need to define that comfort number. Most importantly, and something that we often leave out of sight, out of mind, is the alignment expansion number, because the avenues that we have to grow our money are something we call a financial thermostat. Looks like if I've been earning amount X and it tripled or doubled or grew exponentially, how do I break it down into that amount? So for example, I'm used to earning $100 and I'm paid $10,000. How do I break down that $10,000 into $100 and live off that budget? So 3 important numbers for us to keep in mind: our stability number, our comfort number, and our aligned expansion number. Because at the end of the day, if our lifestyle is expanding faster than our emotional capacity, we might have the money, but we will feel rich and anxious at the same time, which then beats the purpose. And that's really not the soft life that we have signed up for. So this week, before we focus on earning so much more money, let's pause, think through those numbers, and have clarity, because clarity is also wealth. And clarity that comes without chaos is even better, because you have the money and the peace of mind that comes with it. So if this episode resonated with you, please take some time and understand this is your financial EQ at work. And I'll invite you to subscribe to the How Much Pod, and I'll be seeing you very soon. Share this with a friend who you believe is making the money and also needs financial peace to come along with it, more financial peace. And remember, more money doesn't cause us confusion. More money doesn't solve our bad spending habits or bad money habits, but indeed, we need to work towards the clarity. I'll see you very soon in the very next episode. Thank you so much.